Socialites, we are back in the building. Shout out to all the subscribers. Shout out to the notification click that hit that like before the video even starts. You know what I'm talking about? And on this episode right here, we're talking about mothers. We're talking about mothers who don't want their kids. Why in the hell would you lay down with a man and go through all the preparations to have kids and you don't want your kid? Well, on this episode, we're talking about a mother from New York who drowned her 10-day-old son. Why in the fuck would you do this? I get so tired of talking about this. Man, social climbing. Let's get it. This podcast is brought to you by niggas who are generally concerned with most of the dumb shit that's going on right now. By the way, I'm your host, Billy Cash, aka Cole, and welcome to Social Climbing. Look at this picture. You're looking at the picture of Markiya Mitchell, who has drowned her 10-day-old son, Jeremiah Mitchell. And the puzzling thought to me is, why would you do this to a child so young that just came into the world? You have robbed the child of its cognitive functions, not being able to talk, walk, or even have a memory. Now, at the same time, if you feel this much despair in your life, you should have given your child up for adoption. Let him deal with the system. At least in foster care or in the system, he has a fighting fucking chance. But you didn't do this. And then on the video that I'm about to show you, it shows that with her other child, CPS had to get involved with that. Now, check out this video and I'm coming back. Social climbing.
These cases are always difficult. They're heartbreaking.
A Rochester mother charged in the death of her 10-day-old baby. And the question on everyone's mind right now, what could cause a mother to take the life of her own child? Good evening to all of you. The details in this case are disturbing. The mother is now accused of drowning her baby in the bathtub.
25-year-old Markiya Mitchell is charged with murder. Police say it happened yesterday in a home on Locust Street in Rochester. Selena Lewis joining us now live with everything we have learned about this case so far today. The details are disturbing, Selena, no question.
They certainly are, and Markiya Mitchell pleaded not guilty this morning in her arraignment in Rochester City Court. However, yesterday, when police showed up to this house here on Locust Street, she told them she intentionally drowned her 10-day-old newborn child, Jeremiah Mitchell. Unfortunately, the neighbors that we spoke to, as well as police, said that this wasn't even close to the first time that they've been called to this residence. Police were called to this house on Locust Street for a newborn found drowned in a bathtub.
31 Locust Street, Fulton, and thought a way across is caller found an infant in a tub of water. It's coded for the not conscious, not breathing. 31 Locust Street on the red.
According to police, 10-day-old Jeremiah Mitchell was intentionally drowned by his mother, Markiya Mitchell. Neighbors who live on Locust Street say this was not the first time Mitchell had done something alarming.
Police came, nothing they can do. They didn't see any problem. They didn't see anything wrong.
As recently as last Thursday, neighbors told us they had to call the police for what could be seen as a prescient event. You called the police on them?
Yeah, we called the police on them. She was threatening to hurt the baby then, throw the baby out the window. Everybody knows that the girl shouldn't have no kids, including CPS, including the police, everybody on that side, everybody on this side. We all knew that. We knew that last year, seeing her with her daughter.
This neighbor said she didn't want to be identified because she's already faced retaliation from others on the street, saying she was devastated but not surprised it came to this. Mitchell's 7-year-old daughter was removed from her custody last year after Mitchell allegedly beat her with a hammer. The 7-year-old was recently returned to Mitchell's care.
The fact that she took that baby life, that's their fault. She should have never had that baby here, ever.
Now, according to court documents, the baby's father has filed several orders of protection against Markiya Mitchell in the past. Maureen?
Okay, first of all, this happened in Rochester, New York. New York. Shout out to New York. It's the Big Apple. I'm pretty sure a lot of stories like this happen in New York, but they're not talked about, they're not documented, but this one is, so I'm going to talk about it. Let me describe the purpose of CPS investigations. 1, see if a child can safely live with their family. 2, find out if there's any neglect or abuse. 3, learn whether other children in the family are victims of neglect and abuse. 4, determine if there's a risk of neglect and abuse in the future. 5, develop a plan, if needed, to keep child or children safe. Come on. In the case of Markiya Mitchell, I blame her And I blame Rochester, New York CPS, because last year she beat or whooped her 7-year-old daughter with a hammer. Who the fuck does this? Who does this? And then there were calls to CPS or to the police before that she hung her 10-day-old baby out of the window, threatening to drop him. Man, there are numerous red flags in this whole case. So right now, I'm gonna make a suggestion. Get this woman the help that she needs, or give her the death penalty. Markiya Mitchell, you deserve the death penalty, but if you can get some help, get some help. I don't think that she deserves to walk this earth with us no more. But for right now, it's not even about that. We're gonna talk about the father who's been adamant about getting this woman some help or getting the children out of her custody, or who's been fighting for custody for these children. We're gonna talk about him. His name is unknown. We're gonna talk about the Mitchell family, because I'm pretty sure there were people that were around her that were affected by the death of Jeremiah Mitchell, who's only 10-day-old. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to send prayers up to Jeremiah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know you got a spot in heaven, baby. This woman robbed you of your life. Your mother robbed you of your life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know you got a spot in heaven. And it's social climate, man. Can't believe all the dumb shit that people do, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I post videos all the time about not the dumb shit that black people do, but the dumb shit that white people do. And it's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, man. I mean, my personal feelings aside, man, this woman needs to, I'm not going to talk about her. Prayers up for Jeremiah, man. Jeremiah Mitchell. Social climate. I'm out. Click like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. Yeah.